Hey guys, so tomorrow should be the ranked reset, and I know a lot of you guys will probably be itching to play ranked again, so here are 5 things you should focus on when playing your placements. So these games are going to be different from your usual games. First off, MMR wise, they are worth so much more and will affect where you get placed. But the other thing is, because everyone's rank has been reset, your games will have like varying skill levels. An entire bracket could be in your game now. Instead of gold 5s playing together and gold 1s playing together, you'll probably have a mix of everything in between. Yes, it is still solo queue, but at the start of the season, it's kind of like a different type of solo queue. Anyway, I've done placements over like 4 seasons on multiple accounts, and this is what I always use to win them. Numero uno, the biggest one, pick on the bad players and respect the good ones. I actually sound like a complete dick right now, I know, but this does make sense, okay? So hear me out. Your games are going to be filled with a bunch of different elos, right? Some of them will probably be higher than you last season, but some of them will have been lower than you. The easiest way to win placements, and I'm not joking, is to find the guys who are lower than you, who aren't as good as you, and just bully the crap out of them. There are a few ways I work out who I think are the weak links in a game. The first one is obviously just CS. It's the easiest thing to watch and to look at. If their CS is about the same or better than yours, then they're probably about the same skill level, but if they're lower than you, then they're probably worse than you. If you're in the same lane, this is even easier. You just test them, you trade with them, you poke them, you see how they react. Good players will hit you back and they're going to stand their ground. Bad players will just run away to avoid the fight and the damage. Once you've figured out who these unfortunate players are, these weak ones who you're going to target, you focus their lanes, you roam to them, you gank them. When you try and group, you try to group close to them, and the other side of this is you avoid the better players. If their good player is top lane, for example, and is doing well, then the easiest thing to actually do is to group on the bottom side of the map and basically win the game, avoiding the top laner. Anyway, if you are better than your opponent, which will probably be likely, then make sure you prove it. Bully them, trade with them, out CS them, and really show them that you are better. Be proactive and put yourself ahead. Plus, if you don't, then you're basically letting someone who isn't as good as you just farm their way back into the game and still have an impact. Right, second one, not as scumbaggy this time. When you're ahead, you want to group, you push your lead and get objectives. People tilt more in placements. It just happens. It's just a thing. People always want to win more. Sadly, the biggest thing is pushing your lead. Make sure that your team doesn't have a chance to throw it and tilt, but it also makes sure the enemy team tilts more by extending your lead. Now, when you get ahead, you have a gold lead, right? But that gold lead means nothing if 5,000 of your gold is sitting top lane farming minions while you fight 4v5. For that gold lead to make any difference, you have to be grouped and you have to be pushing. Just roam to other lanes, take towers, take objectives, and if the enemy fights you, then they should lose because you're ahead. Even if you're behind, you can actually group and catch the enemy team with a numbers advantage. It's kind of often the best way to actually turn a game around. There are 4 real objectives, right? Towers, Dragon, Baron, and inhibs. Inhibs should always be your #1 priority, really. If you can take an inhib, then do it. It's going to free up things like Baron because they have to defend against the minions, and it gives you so much map pressure too. Next up would probably be Baron. It lets you take towers and hopefully get that inhib, and Dragon and towers are kind of pretty even really, but towers will help you snowball the game, and dragons are more of a safety net win condition when you get 5 of them. Every time you get a kill, think whether you can take one of these objectives. Short kills are nice, but objectives are better. Alright, third thing, have the right mindset, don't give up, and don't open that wonderful mouth of yours. I said this already, but everyone wants to win more, and when you care more, you're usually more emotional. Thing is, people get cocky, they get too aggressive trying to end the game too quickly, and that is the perfect time for you to turn the game around. Just don't give up, okay? The enemy team is more likely to tilt, and you'll actually have more of a chance of coming back in placements than most other games. Most of you will get frustrated, it happens to a lot of us, even me included, but be the nice guy, it's actually going to help. Encourage your team, play well, be nice, ping a lot, and you might actually just win the game. Number 4, this is a big one at lower elo specifically as well. Pick what you are good at and ban what is stupidly overpowered. Right now that's things like Jax, Mundo, Tarm. These guys are just too strong. Yeah, it might be good if you can play them, but really just focus on what you are good at. Like, you only have 10 shots at placement games, right? Logically, you should stand a better chance of winning those games if you're playing your main champions. Don't try to counter, don't try to cheese, don't try to play things you think are OP, just play what you are good at. Not only will you play better, but you'll have a better idea of how to win with them, like what your win conditions are. This is stuff like for Vayne, you can just sit back a little bit in lane until level 6 or get your blade and then start to fight, whereas someone for like Lucian, you'll want to bully a lot early and try to kill them. Knowing what your champion is good at is really important, especially for placement games. The last thing is Season 6 specific. Kill the bloody Rift Scuttler, please, for the love of God, just kill it. This thing is really strong and it accelerates your team into the mid game, which at the moment is the most important phase in the game. Even if you're bot lane, ask your team to do it. Keep telling them, keep pinging them when they have a chance. If their jungler ever ganks bot lane, then just go over and take it and grab the buff. Most junglers and top laners can duo this thing, and it doesn't even look suspicious, it just looks like the enemy top laner has based. You can either give it to the laner and let them abuse it, or better yet, you can just both run to mid lane and 3-man push that tower down. You'll get some global gold, you'll maybe get a kill if they stick around, and all it took was you being proactive. Anyways, those are the 5 things that I use to get ahead in my placement games, and I hope you found the video useful. Remember to like, subscribe, share, comment, and I'll catch you in my next video.
Yeah, we